Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you are watching this. Hey y'all, hey. Child, Lil Meech and his bad acting is back, and I can't lie, I am beyond excited because we are getting deeper and deeper into the BMF story. And before I jump into this review, y'all already know what to do. Like this video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe because I know y'all already watched it. That's why y'all here, so go ahead and do that. But let's get into the review. So I have to start off by saying congrats to the cast and the crew over at BMF because they have already been renewed for season 4 ahead of this season 3 premiere. And that's amazing because that rarely happens. I just hope we don't have to wait so damn long for the next season. But needless to say, let's get into the episode. First, let's start off with the opening scene of older Meech and Terry because as always, I have to give credit where credit is due. And this time it's for the casting department because maybe the older actors of Meech and Terry looks identical to the younger Meech and Terry. And all of them favor the real life Meech and Terry. I mean, of course, Lil Meech is the real Meech's son, but they all, look alike, and that's amazing. So I have to give them their tans for that. But moving on, the show opened up in 2007 with Meech and Terry locked up, but in the same room together. And of course, they are arguing, going back and forth about how they ended up in a situation. Now, I know a lot of people know the whole background story of BMF. I'm just not one of them people. I may know, little bits and pieces of the story, but I never really had been fully invested to know the whole story, which is why I love watching the show and giving my thoughts because I am genuinely watching it with fresh eyes. But needless to say, the two of them are arguing because they have finally been caught after a successful 22-year run, and it's because T was talking too much on the phone. Meech is talking about how he's going to go ahead and take a plea because he is not trying to get a life sentence, especially on a mess up that wasn't even his fault. And T, on the other hand, is like, well, I'm not taking a plea. I'm going to go to trial. And before I continue, let me just say, baby, T in them eyes, baby, they be fighting for their life. They do. They really, really do, okay? But after we get through all of that, we get into the episode. And of course, it's finishing off from last season, final episode where T and Markiesha got shot up. When Markiesha and, dang, what happened? Markiesha and T got shot at by Markiesha's husband, Boone, right-hand man, Saint. And Markiesha is hit. So they go to the hospital. So, of course, the whole family shows up. Mama, daddy, sister, hell, even the baby mama showed up, LaWanda. So, chaos breaks loose because LaWanda is on some, why the fuck are you even with her? And she is married and her husband is your ox. Make it make sense, T. Please? Because it don't. And that's what we all want to know. But LaWanda snapping on T isn't the standout in this scene because Lucille finding out that Terry is sleeping with a married woman and saying he is exactly like his daddy took me out, okay? And Charles had the nerve to tell Lucille, oh, this isn't the time to get into all of that. And although he was right, the timing was so perfect because you and your son are trifling, period. Another standout in the scene for me is watching baby sister Nikki with 2 rollers in her head at the hospital reading T to film because it seems like he is getting dumber, and the fact that his baby sister has to tell him that is mind-boggling. To be honest, the whole T, Meech, and Markiesha situation is draining because I am surely Team Meech because there is a plan in place and T is already drifting off the course for a money-hungry whore just to get his little thingy with. Like, sir, get it together, seriously. And before I keep going, and I have Markiesha, aka Lala, on my mind, let me say something about her acting because it is like a running joke in a Power BMF universe. Hell, anything Lala on is that she's a terrible actor. I mean, some people have valid points, but here's my thoughts. I personally don't think Lala is as terrible of an actor that we make her out to be. I just think the problem is, just like Beyonce, Lala has a distinct voice and a look. So it's hard for us to break out of seeing her in that, that one light. Granted, as an actor, it is her role to take us out of that light, and break that mold from, real life versus character. But I also believe her continuing to play the same type of role in all the shows and movies we see her in doesn't help her get out of that rut, And I fear she would never break that mold if she doesn't switch it up soon. But mama stays booked and she stayed A, so I ain't even mad at her, okay? Even though she got connections and people love Lala. But back to the show. Clearly, T has it going on in Detroit while Meech is trying to make something shake, up in Atlanta and lay down some roots. So to learn the ins and out, he has met up with this dude, Rodney Green, aka Greenie, that's supposed to give him the lay of the land down south. And y'all tell me why I almost missed the fact that Greenie is being played by Neo. Can we give the BMF fashion department their tens as well? Because I don't know if it's the fact that I'm used to seeing Neo with a hat, or if it's the fact that, his forehead is hiding under the wig they put him in, but he tricked me. You got me, okay? You got me. But I am excited to see his role in the show because he's going to be a slick and tricky character. So I can't wait to see how that plays out. But speaking of slick and tricky characters, we are being introduced to a lot of new people in this episode, which makes sense being that Meech is new in the city, so he needs, a new crew. But the one he is being introduced to is giving very suspect. Side note, let me tell y'all how I am slow. So in the scene where Meech is at the strip club, he is talking to some boy about how he is there to stay in Atlanta and bring up how, he got some white women coming down from Detroit. Why did my slow behind think he actually meant white women? I'm thinking to myself, why the hell is Meech talking to white women? And more importantly, why are they coming down? Maybe they bringing the drugs? Like, I don't know. But the whole time, the white women he was talking about was the actual drugs. Y'all, don't talk about me, but clearly this lifestyle wasn't meant for me, okay? But moving on, Meech meets Duffy, Stacks, Diesel, and Rip. And off Rip, no pun intended, I am side-eyeing Stacks because he was giving suspect weird and just off when he met Meech. And if I clocked it, I know Meech clocked it. So I hope he don't play about that. He just play the course and see how everything works out. But Meech smart, so I'm pretty sure he will. But at that moment, Stacks wasn't even a true factor because the moment Meech and his crew saw Remy Ransom, things instantly got ugly, and just that fast, Meech was not only bringing attention to himself, but starting a drama already. But it wouldn't be hot-headed Meech if he didn't. But what always killed me is that Meech will play preacher to T every time T get into some mess, and then he would turn right back around and get into some mess himself. It never fails. But again, that's just Meech, and I get he wants better for T, but still the hypocrisy is forever front and center with him. And although I feel like Meech didn't need to start the fight with Remy at that very second, I also understand that he had to make, a stance immediately to let it be known he is not no pussy. Okay? Overall, I love the whole strip club scene because it was giving very much rated R, rated MA, peak Atlanta stripper era, from the strippers in their terrible hairdos to all the ballers in the club clapping up and dapping each other up in every scene and every chance they got. Okay? Take us down memory lane, stars. Take us there. Shit, we got Freak Me coming out. Might as well. So after the strip club scene, we get into the quick scene and history lesson when Remy Ransom gets beat up by the Red Dogs. Now, when they showed up, I thought it was some people that Remy, may have owed money to. But the whole time, they were cops put in place to basically violate all the drug dealers in every way they can, just so they can, get them out of the city. So basically, they were a group of bad cops being greenlit to be dirty, down low cops in the light. At least that's what I took from it. I never heard of the term Red Dogs, but again, clearly, I'm not supposed to. But forget all that. I want to know, what did Remy get them kids in that brown paper bag? I feel like he gave them money, but then he told the kids, get other kids at the school a taste of what's in the bag. And these kids had to be like in elementary getting ready to go to middle school. So I just know he wasn't giving them drugs. Like, I hope not. Maybe. But in those times, I wouldn't put them past them. I wouldn't put it past them, but whatever. But moving on in the show, we get into a scene with Lucille and Charles, and I'm just aggravated. I want Charles gone. Charles gone, because he did my girl so wrong. But anyways, in the scene, Lucille is looking good in her little cute blue nightgown, and of course Charles wants to rub all up on her, and she lets him. So of course Charles is thinking everything is sweet, but baby Lucille drops a bomb on him and told him she needs a divorce from him immediately. And that man was sick. Okay, he was sick. As he should be. Baby Lucille played that up so good, and I started clapping because I thought she was going to cave, but my girl is holding on strong. My girl said, "You stopped being a man of this household a long time ago, Charles." Yes, read him down, Lucille. Read him the film. His nasty, dirty ass, okay? And then he had the audacity to say, I wish I could take away the pain I caused. Well, you weren't thinking about all that pain when you were knee deep in her friend, messy mistress Mabel. So we don't want to hear it, Charles, with your trifling ass. And then when Lucille told him he needs to get out and find somewhere else to live, he got the nerve to use the fact that he is a broke ass man as to why he can't and won't leave the house. Well, Charles, maybe if you weren't so mean to your sons, they could lend you a little something. No, let me not say that, because these boys got dirty money and Lord knows Charles doesn't need any more problems, okay? But regardless of the fact, being a broke man is not Lucille's problem, Charles. So pack it up and head out, playboy. Yeah? It's like Lucille is so sweet and subtle, yet she doesn't let up on Charles at all. She just does it in a gentle way. But I want her to have some rage. Like, I want the rage to come out, because I feel like her niceness gets the best of her sometimes. Like, why did she cave and told him he can sleep on the couch? Like, girl, no. Stand on business. He wasn't thinking about his funds when he was cheating on you. And to be honest, Charles is just overall a joke, because why? Right after the scene, we get into a scene where one of the boys from the crew is just walking into their house all jolly and happy with a bag of groceries and some flowers for Lucille. And Charles is tight, okay? He is pissed, hot. Like, why are you walking here? They know who the guy is, but why are you walking in here? Meech gave you a key? No, bro. Relax. So because Charles is tight, he decides to rough up Ronald and tell him to give him the house key back. The house that Lucille wants Charles out of, he wants the key for. And while Charles is mad about that, he should be thanking Meech, though, because Meech is out here feeding y'all. Your child that you can't stand the most is out here feeding the helpless and the hungry. So without that happening, they basically would have been starving that night. Well, I ain't gonna say they probably would have been starving, but they wouldn't have been eating as good. I shall say that. It's like Charles wants to continue to run his household how it used to be, but it's just not that anymore. It's just not. And don't get me wrong, as trustworthy as Ronald may be, I think him having a key and being able to walk up in the house whenever he feel like it is a bit much. Like, this is just a bit much. And speaking of things being a bit much, Terry, man. Terry. I swear he has to be about as dumb as a bag of rocks, or he genuinely just do not give a, or both. He is literally his daddy's son, because why the hell are you bringing your married side piece to your family home as they are having dinner with your pregnant baby mama? Like, seriously, who raised you? Oh, Charles raised you. And then it's Markiesha ass. She is so gutter and desperate, because not only is she a grown-ass woman messing around with a child while she is married, but he is literally about to have another child with his baby mama. So clearly he's still messing around with her. Like, I am so confused. Are y'all all missing screws in your head? Like, are y'all all dumb? Like, even though Markiesha is just gutter, she low down, she dirty, she just, wherever the money leads her, that's what she got going on. And then you got baby mama LaWanda, who is just a better woman than me, because she was so calm at during the situation. Like me, I would have caused hell, wreaked havoc, because it's a lot of things you can do and may do, but you're not going to play in my face, and you're you're not going to disrespect me. That's what you're not going to do. I don't care who you are, how much money you got, what crew you run with. We're not doing that. Period. Listen, all I know is T and Meech got a lot going on. And although they may be messy and problematic, neither one of them got anything to do with what Detective Bryant got going on with his son. It doesn't matter how he wants to flip it, slice it, cut it, chop it, have it. It don't matter. His problems are his own. And the fact that he is using Meech and Terry as an anchor and a crutch to be mad is about the dumbest and the bummest ever. And it's killing me. Like, I'm so irritated and aggravated. Whew, bring it on down. So Detective Bryant's son, Kevin, is going to juvie for killing the kid with a gun that Bryant had at his house. And to be honest, he is to blame for all of this because he was the one lacking as a father from the beginning, not being aware of his son's problems and clear call for help because he was so wrapped up into Meech and T. Now his son is going to pay for that. It's so sad, and I feel so bad for Kevin because he don't stand a chance, and Brian knows that. Hell, I know it. Hell, y'all know it. Everybody know it. Kevin is done. He's done for it. They say juvie is worse than jail and prison for adults. He's done. He's done. And then you got his partner or ex-partner or ex-lover, child, whatever she is. She on the side stealing bricks from a dead drug dealer. And I'm so confused on what she's going to do with it. I assume she would try and get money for it to give to Bryant, you know, for a lawyer, since along with Charles, he's a broke man on the show. And, you know, help him pay for a lawyer to help get Kevin out of jail or, you know, the situation he got going on. It's just a mess. It's a lot. And it's sad. It's really, really sad. But we shall see what happens with that whole situation. I'm so intrigued. All I know is this is going to be an amazing, great season, and I can't wait for more. And even though I was making a joke earlier about Meech acting, I can say that it was better in this episode. And we love improvement over here at Queen A Sad. So with that being said, y'all already know what to do. Like this video and show your girl some love. Comment your thoughts and let's discuss what y'all thought about this episode. Where do you think things are heading? And if I missed anything, you know, I didn't highlight anything, put it in the comments. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. And last but certainly not least, subscribe and join your girl Queen, baby. Bye.